Yeah, we were saying this about there being chaos at our last race, but a reminder now of us starting on for our second go here at Daytona.
Yeah, so here is how the grid is going to line up for part two then of the first race of the weekend then for the Manufacturers' Cup. Mazda and Cardinal on pole position. Subaru and Danny Solis head the second position of the grid. Then the second row is headed by Sato in P3. Toyota with Kai de Bruin in fourth place. Then Lexus and Harold Valson line up on P5. They have got Lamborghini's Yusuke Goto. He was right at the back of the field, if you remember, the first running of this one. So opportunity knocks for them. Ferrari down in 7th place. Honda are in 8th position with Trent Jeffrey alongside them. BMW Randall Hayward in 9th position. The top 10 completed by Mercedes-AMG and Sasaki. Then you have got McLaren with Yamamoto. Let's see what progress they can make. Nissan down there, though, in 12th. Philo with a lot of work to do, considering that they were originally starting in 4th place. It has not gone well so far for Nissan. They were involved in that big crash that we saw, which brought out the red flag ultimately. So now down to 6 laps of action then, and let's see how this one is going to work out. Originally it was a 10-lap race distance, now down to 6, so slightly reduced race distance, I'm sure, because it did not work out at all.
No, I mean, like I say, getting sort of shunted to the back of the pack there is not ideal. But another go here now as we roll around, rolling start, as we come to the start-finish line. 6 laps at the Daytona Oval Circuit. High speeds, high risks here in the first race of the grand final of the Manufacturers' Cup. Will Team Mazda leave from the get-go? Will Team Subaru manage to not spin around this time? Let's find out.
Absolutely. There we go then. The restart is about to get underway for the first race of the Manufacturers' Cup for the 2025 GT World Finals. Mazda across the line first, with Subaru and Porsche slotting in behind in second and third place then, respectively. We come through and in towards the first turn. Now, we saw a lot of drivers going for the low line through the first time. They're already starting to bump draft through the first corner, and that's the problem when you get bump drafting in a situation like that through a corner. You can turn these cars around with almost your little finger, because they're just on the ragged edge of adhesion. Now down the back straight. Now we'll see how effective this slipstream is proven to be. You can see Subaru and Mazda working together here, bumping one another as we come down this back straight. Is anybody going to pull out of the slipstream, go for a higher line in towards this left-hander? No opportunity moving there for Toyota. They go towards the sort of middle line of it, but you can see them moving around constantly at this point of the corner.
Yeah, it's hard than it looks, and this is where the drivers can very easily tense up and just make those little mistakes. But it's very, very important to try and stay in your line and keep things consistent. The moment you sort of duck out, you have to hope someone goes with you, otherwise you're left there. And there goes Team Ferrari using the side draft. And do they have help there on the outside? We can't see it at the moment. They do have hope. Team BMW, they're going to the high side, trying to push and maybe form that second lane. They've got no other choice, BMW. There's no other way they're going to get through otherwise.
So, points to the top six, just to remind you, in this race. And in terms of the points as well, you get 6 points for the victory, all the way down to 1 point for sixth position. Now, Ferrari, they go for that higher line on the outside. They've got Lamborghini on the low side then here as we come down this back straight over the timing line. And let's see how it's going to work out then. So we begin lap 3. Mazda it is that leads. Subaru are in second place. Then you've got Porsche in third position, followed by Toyota, followed by Lexus. Over in towards the first turn we go. You can see bumping and barging in the sort of mid to latter pack as they sneak their way through. We're not seeing anyone going 2 by 2 through these first couple of corners. Down this back straight we go though. Are we going to see positions beginning to change hands? There's not a lot of time now, of course. Original race distance 10 laps, now down to 6 laps, and we're already at the halfway stage as we're on lap 3 here. At the moment it's still Mazda, Subaru and Porsche who lead from the front.
Yeah, I mean, you have to start doing something different now and thinking about it again. All I've seen really is the Team Ferrari, and then Lamborghini, they've touched Ferrari. They just went under the bottom line there. Car spins around, Ferrari out as well, no fault of their own, and then there were 10. So Ferrari, who were trying to invent something around the outside, in the end just got collected in something that was not their fault. But now Trent Jeffrey has another big one. Boys, sort it out, come on.
Not good at all there for Trent Jeffrey. He's going to be bitterly disappointed for that, as will the entire Honda team. We're 2 by 2 in the background. Now we're starting to see the action taking place. But is it enough for Mazda and Subaru? Have they broken away into a lead? Not really, because it closes up at the end of the back straight. So we come through in towards the final turn on this Daytona Oval. Now we're going to start to see Subaru beginning to pull some punches. The problem with that Subaru is it's very quick in technical corners, on technical circuits. In a straight line, not necessarily so. So they have to sit in the slipstream here at this point and hope for a bump draft there for Porsche. Across the line we go. Penultimate lap now begins. It's still Mazda that leads, Subaru in second, Porsche in third, points down to 6 once again. Just to remind you, at the moment it's Nissan who'll be the final point scorers.
Is anyone going to take a risk here? I mean, we've seen what's happened to Ferrari, Lamborghini and Honda. You take a risk, you get shunted. So I mean, there's nothing you can do. They're all one a turn right now. Mazda in the fortuitous position of leading that pack, but you have to think they're all just waiting. It doesn't matter where you are here, it matters where you are crossing the line and in the next lap. Right now, Mazda will be the victors, but I've got a feeling it's going to get a little bit more spicy before we get into this race.
Yeah, you get the sense that this is going to start to bubble up. What a disappointment, though, for Lamborghini and for Ferrari, especially for Ferrari, that brand new 296 car that they are competing with here this weekend. Let's hope that their second and third races, respectively, go quite well. We begin the final lap of action, though, at the Daytona Tri-Oval. So, Mazda from Subaru, front Porsche, as we come down in towards the first turn for the final time. Don't think anybody's going to think about a higher line through there, but they're certainly bumping one another going through, and all sticking to quite a low line. But look at Porsche, they're coming to pressure from Toyota, and I wonder if the door is starting to open for Toyota there, and whether they're going to try and pick their pocket for that final podium place to pick up more points. Down the back straight we go for one final time.
Someone's got to try something here. BMW been giving a penalty for colliding. It's bump drafting, is it not? I mean, we'll see if we get a replay of that later on, but it doesn't matter now. Final lap.
Unless it was the incident with Honda that we saw a couple of laps ago, maybe through the final corner we go though. So Mazda it is that lead from Subaru, from Porsche. We run to the line in race 1 of the Manufacturers' Cup World Finals here, and it's going to be first blood to Mazda. Porsche in third place, just behind Team Subaru. Toyota are in fourth, Lexus are fifth, and the final points position is occupied by Nissan ahead of McLaren and BMW, who managed to nick the final points place despite that 1 second penalty on the final lap of racing then here. And a great end to that one. Good job, though, from the eventual winners of Mazda and from Samuel Cardinal, the driver of that car, because he did an exceptionally... Let's see what is going to happen as the drivers prepare to do battle at Mount Panorama. And here is how the grid lines up ahead of the 22-lap strong race. Pole position, Kanata Kawakami for Lexus, put in a great lap time right at the end of the session. His compatriot and former world champion Takuma Miyazono for Subaru is alongside. Then it's Ryota Kokubun for Mazda heading row 2 with Nabatani for company. Next up is Tomoaki Yamanaka, a stalwart of the championship in the Toyota. He's got Lucas Bonelli in the Mercedes AMG for company. Then Saya Suzuki in the BMW M6 with Sasaki in the Genesis alongside. Next up is Sato in the Audi, not a particularly brilliant qualifying for them, but the big shock is Ferrari, winners last time out, only 10th on the grid for this one, and championship leaders Porsche, down in 11th place with Arto Mosso making a mistake on his lap. Gotto completes the 12-driver strong field. As we said, 3 different types of tyre compound available to the drivers. Kanata Kawakami here, Jimmy, going on the soft early, seems like he wants to get away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, that is the strategy if you're out front. Use the soft, use that clean air, and just try and drive into it. The thing is, because no one's challenging him on that stint, no one's challenging him on the soft tyre there, that's going to be, he's going to be very happy to see that, because it means he can just use that tyre to the best of its ability. Miyazono, the opposite strategy behind for Team Subaru, going for that hard tyre, as does Kokubun. So they're going to be the cork in the bottle for the guys in the mediums behind on that first lap over the mountain.
Certainly are. So coming through Murray's corner, the final turn of this Mount Panorama circuit, drivers are in place. There's Arto Mosso. He's got the weight of the world on his shoulders to try and hold on to Porsche for their championship lead. We're about ready to go racing then, as the grand final of the Manufacturers' Cup is about to go green here at Mount Panorama. Action is about to begin. World Series 3 here in Tokyo is underway. Kawakami leads the field down towards the first corner, followed by Miyazono and Kokubun. Through Hell Corner we go, on the run, up the mountain straight and in towards the mountain section we go for the first timer. Start there, of course, which is spreading the field out courtesy of the rolling start, meaning that we shouldn't see too much action in the first couple of corners, but as we come over the crest of the hill and it begins to tighten up as we head through in towards Griffin's Bend, that's where we'll see drivers getting very close to one another and maybe trying to launch a move before we go into the one-at-a-time section.
I say that already. Look at the gap between Kawakami and Kokubun, who's got through past Miyazono. They're really struggling for speed on that first lap, dropping down from P2 to P4. Kokubun out in front now on that hard tyre. Nabatani, the first of the medium runners, eager to get through as well. But look at the gap, 2 seconds already to Kawakami out front. This is exactly what he wanted.
Amazing start there from Kanata Kawakami. You can see here, Kokubun, he's going to be a bit of a cork in the bottle. Nabatani's on the medium tyre, so though they're not the fastest compound, they will be that bit quicker than Kokubun. Miyazono also on the hard tyres, struggling to get them up to temperature in the first few corners. Keep an eye out also for Yamanaka in the Toyota Supra. There is Kawakami pulling out nearly 3 seconds by not even the end of the first lap. Through the Forest Elbow we go and down the Conrod Straight for the first time, and you can see how nose to tail it is throughout the rest of the field. Down the Conrod Straight we go. This is where we'll see the slipstream coming into effect, and where we should see the medium shot runners breezing past the hard shot runners. Here is Yamanaka on the back of Miyazono. That Subaru's not ever been particularly quick in a straight line. Miyazono in the Toyota draws alongside his compatriot and goes through into 4th position before we've even reached the end of the straight and in towards the chase. Oh, and wide there as well for the Honda of Nabatani. Kokubun ready to try and take profit of it, but Nabatani just about manages to hold firm in second for now.
4 seconds is a gap on lap 1. Kawakami's just gone, right, mate, I'm going to win this, see ya. He's just left the field behind. Obviously, long race yet to go, but that's about as good a start as you can have, I think. Meanwhile, the battle for second and the rest of the hard and medium runners are pretty much all stuck together as we come onto Mountain Straight for the second time now. This is where we get to see the straight line speed of the cars. I mean, having taken a drink for every time we said that Subaru's going to struggle in a straight line, because that's going to be a big factor in this race.
It certainly is, and I'll tell you what, not a particularly brilliant start for the likes of Mosso and Hashida. They're still 10th and 11th as Yamanaka breezes past Miyazono heading in towards Griffin's Bend.
What can you do?
No, absolutely nothing. That's it. He's just a sitting duck at this point, isn't he? So Kawakami here, he's trying to break away from the rest of the field, isn't he? Well, he's already done that, 4.1 seconds. I think he's trying to channel his inner Igor Fraga. If you remember, what Igor loves to do is lead from the front, doesn't he? Doesn't like to get bothered by anything behind, and, well, he's clear as makes no difference from the rest of the field. He's not going to be bothered at all, is he?
Yeah, we had Igor Fraga here at our lovely venue, hyping up Karakami before the race up on stage. So maybe those words helping me out a little bit. Of course, here are our drivers. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, all soaring away at the wheel. It's hard work this on the sim. You wouldn't think it is, but you can really work up a sweat trying to hustle these cars over the mountain here as they'll come down one at a time.